But I'm so pleased that the Penn Northeast Conference of the United Church of Christ has brought on board our next speaker, Gilberto Garcia-Rodriguez, as Associate Conference Minister, because he is helping our conference, which I'm a part, make this kind of shift, and he's helping all of us today to have some insight into the growing Hispanic cultures, because it's not monolithic, there are different Hispanic cultures, and how we might understand those cultures and better be able to do ministry with, for, to, in partnership with those cultures. And so, welcome, Gilberto. Glad you're here.
Buen día. ¿Cuántos hablan español aquí? Levanta la mano. Mexicano, puertorriqueño, Colombia. Eso. Me alegra que están aquí con nosotros. Espero que vaya todo muy bien y que podamos aprender mucho. ¿Estamos? Ok. It's hard to come to a place, speak other language that is not your language, and listen to somebody talking other language that is not yours. You feel like, I'm here. You know, you can talk something that I can understand. And we are in a big group. But imagine that you come to a place, a house, that they only speak Spanish, and you only speak English. Both feels that a big part of the interaction is missing. So I'm glad to be here, and I asked her if she was okay. She was fine. I'm not so sure if the translation for "are you okay" is the same way that we say in Spanish. ¿Cómo está usted? ¿Está bien? So I used to ask, "Are you okay?" For me, that's the closest translation to "are you okay?" Yes, no. So working with families that are from other language or other cultures or other places can be hard, very hard, extremely hard. I'm working with Penn Northeast Conference, Associate Conference Minister. I just started in that work. But I've been working with the Office of Children and Youth for the last 8 years. So we do prevention for child abuse. I receive a lot of referrals from children and youth. And one of the most common things that they are referred are children unsupervised. Children were in the street, the neighbor called to report them. And that's hard, because in Hispanic cultures, mothers used to say to the kids, "Get out of the house. I don't want you in the house." And American people say, "Come to the house. I don't want you in the street." You understand what I mean? That I regularly say to my clients, you know, things that you do in Puerto Rico, in Mexico, Colombia, you don't do it here. No. Okay, you have to learn how to live in a place that is not your home place. It's not your country. something I always remember, and I'm using these two examples for you just to understand. When I grew up, I did something wrong. I was probably 8 years old, and I don't remember up to today what I did wrong. I know I did something wrong because my mother was so angry. And when she went to me to, hit me, we used to take little ramitas, the branches of trees, clean up the leaves, take them out, and that was no belt, no, that was good because it leaves you the little mark. Oh, and you will remember what you did wrong for the rest of your life. That's wrong today. That's wrong here. And that's wrong today in Puerto Rico, but at that time, that was the everyday thing. So my mother started going to get me. Immediately, 8 years old, I opened the gates of the house, run to the street, and my mother was very little, teeny, and I won. It was a little hill, and so I started running, and my mother never catch me. And she said, my mother looks like you. I'm sorry, but you remind my mother. I don't know if that's good. Oh my God. You look very nice. So my mother said, don't worry, because you're going to come to the house. You need to sleep in the house. You're not going to sleep in the street. I was so scared because I was around noon. So I spent the whole day in the street. Oh, that was a great day. At dinner time, she started calling. Hey, come to have dinner. I'm not hungry, Mom. I'll go later. But it was dark. Night, I came. And I was, quiet. You're not going to eat? No, Mom. All right. So I get into my room. She came in the room. You're okay? Yeah, Mom, I'm okay. She took the little branch and started hitting me. A bunch of, and she said, this is part one. Part one was for the thing that I did wrong. Now comes part two. Part two is the next time I call you, I want you in front of me. Don't run. And she started part two. That's what I remember. I don't remember what I did. But I remember the part one and part two. Because there are differences. I say today, and I say to her, Mom, if it was a time that I was young and we were living today, you were reported to children and youth. I will report you to children and youth. Because that was the way. Or my grandmother used to put dry rice in the little corner, and then you have to kneel in the little corner with rice there. And Mom, this hurts. That's the idea. That's the idea. So, differences. Differences in terms of time, differences in terms of practices, differences in terms of culture. But the other thing I want to tell you is that not all the Hispanics are Mexicans or Puerto Ricans, right? They are Colombians. They are Mexicans, Guatemala. So I say to the director of our program, she used to call me Mexican. Hey, Mexican. Because in the beginning, when she said, oh, the Mexicans in Allentown, not all the Hispanics are Mexicans. There is a lot of diversity inside the Hispanic group. So you need to understand from where they come. Because something that can be good for me, maybe it's not good for a Mexican. Also, maybe saying the expression "you're Mexican" can be offensive to somebody. Okay? So those are little things that we need to understand. We will help participants to have a better understanding of the Hispanic culture. Understand they are different. They come with a different background. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. Second, we need to clarify the differences from the ethnic aspect. So maybe what is good for me is not good for her. Or maybe what is a practice for me is not a practice for somebody else in the same Hispanic group. The cultural background plays an important role in the life of patients and clients. And the caregiver must integrate these aspects as part of the treatment in the process of recovery to help them, if you want to help them. One of the things that I do when I visit families, Hispanics or not Hispanic, is I try not to do anything the first 1-2 sessions. I just want to know who they are. I come from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico has the experience. It was originally 500 years from Spain. Spain took the island, cleaned it up, took all the minerals and gold and everything. They cleaned up the island. 1898, United States invades Puerto Rico. Throw out the Spaniards, and they start working with the island. 1898. Whatever the Spaniards leave in the island, the Americans took it and cleaned it up. And this is what they did. They start building schools to teach in English. They never ask the island if they want to learn English. They never ask the island if they want to be part of the United States. They never ask, if Puerto Rico was okay, having a relationship with the United States. There was no question about it. They just took it. They just live there. So we have, from Spaniard, some influence. You remember Spaniards used slaves from Africa. So when Spain came to Puerto Rico, they brought with them slaves from Africa. So we have Africans, we have Spaniards, in 1898, American, all those influences, and plus the native from the island, all those things are in the culture of Hispanics in Puerto Rico. In Puerto Rico. So in Puerto Rico, if you live in Puerto Rico, you start learning English from kindergarten. You learn numbers, Spanish and English. You learn colors. You learn letters, Spanish and English. That doesn't happen in Guatemala, doesn't happen in Mexico, doesn't happen in Argentina, etc. That doesn't happen in Dominican Republic and Cuba. They are 3 islands, one next to the other one. That only happens in Puerto Rico. So in the beginning, when I moved here, I understood people. I moved to a house with an American family, great family. I moved alone 12 years ago, And she only speaks English. She was letting me use a room for a couple of weeks. 3 days later, I was feeling that I was out of my life. I don't have life. Just because she was talking only in English. I said, when you haven't eaten or haven't drink water for a long time, you are like thirsty. You need it. You need it. The same experience I have with language. I need to talk to somebody in Spanish. I need it. I was thirsty just to talk in Spanish, and it was only 3 days or 4. So the first thing I did, I went to a supermarket in Southside Bethlehem. Hey, you speak Spanish? Yeah, okay, that's what I want. Start talking in Spanish. That's my roots. That's what I am. That's part of my tradition, my culture. So we need to integrate this aspect. So every time I go to a group, I say buenos dias. If at least you learn one word in Spanish, just to make them feel that you are doing something, that you identify with them, you're doing great. Because if it's in Puerto Rico, this is what is behind psychologically. An American coming to my house, telling me what I'm supposed to do, is not the same thing that 1898 American coming to Puerto Rico, telling me what to do, what to learn, because what I have in the back of my life, what I do up to today, that's not good. That's our mistake. That's our mistake, because all what I did before 12 years from today, from 12 years from today, behind, going back, that was great for me. That was great for me. That was my life. That was everything what I am today came from that. And just feeling or having a little idea that you want to tell me how I'm going to do it, what I'm supposed to do, what is right or what is wrong, that scares me. It reminds me the history, invasion, taking over, and nobody wants that. Everybody wants to be who they are. That's it. That's it. So we need to integrate. So if you learn today, buenos dias, and you can say to your clients, Hispanics, they will feel, oh my God, the American wants to learn so Spanish, even you know only one word. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you a secret. If you know 2 words in Spanish, buenos dias, ¿cómo estás? How are you? You are bilingual. You are bilingual. You know more than 2 words in Spanish. And that's what makes you bilingual. So they will be so happy. Yeah, this is a social worker bilingual. And you only know buenos dias. ¿Cómo está usted? Now, we need to learn how to integrate these techniques that focus on Hispanic background for a better recovery. The session provides the opportunity for workers to integrate in a regular treatment the appropriate culture particularities with the pertinent treatment techniques. It will help workers to explore the family's particularities so that the final product can become relevant to them. Not necessarily for you. Maybe for you it's not so relevant. You do it every day. But for somebody that doesn't do that work, or for a client or for a patient that needs some kind of support, that means a lot. A little thing that you do, a little word that you speak in their language, that means a lot. When I go to clients that they talk all the languages, I say something in your language, say something. That makes them feel that who they are, for me, is important. They feel, oh my God, this social worker wants to know how my language sounds. I visited a Jamaican family a couple of weeks ago, She's in her 70s, son is in 40s, and they start talking. I'm here, the grandmother is here, and the son is there, and they were talking between them, and I feel like you feel in the beginning. You know, they were talking. When she finished, I asked her, what language were you talking? She said, English. I don't understand what you say. She laughed. It was English. But I didn't understand a word. And she said, no, that's the way we talk in English. And my English is different than your English. You know, it's Hispanic talking in English. So the accent was different. The way they talk their English different. I didn't understand a word. And she laughed. You know, she laughed. She said, yeah, that's the way we talk English. In some way, she felt that, you know, hey, I recognize that's not the English I know. That's another kind of language. So that was meaningful for her, and we need to recognize those things. Understanding diversity in Hispanic group. All the Hispanic, they come to the United States. Reasons why they come, different reasons. They can come for different reasons. They don't come because they want to take your place. They don't come because they want to take your job. They don't come because they want to travel and, you know, enjoy the world and have fun. And no. I came 12 years ago with papers. By the way, because America was part of Puerto Rico was part of, I don't need visa. But Mexicans, Guatemala, other countries, they need it. I can go and come. I can go today to Puerto Rico and come back tomorrow, no problem. I don't need it. I don't need visas. I don't need green card. I don't need nothing. I can go and be back. Doesn't happen with other cultures. But some of them come because they are facing war where they live. Or the drug addicts, or the narco traffic, or political issues, or the poor, the financial, economical situation of their country is not best. It's not good. It's not good. They want to have a better life. That's it. They don't come because they want to take over. They come because they are facing a bad time in their country. They need a job. They don't work there. They don't receive income. They don't have Social Security. They don't have welfare. They don't have nothing. We need, and I'm sure that if for some reason something like that happens here, all us will go to wherever we need to go, because I will do whatever I need to do to have a better life for my daughter. Not necessarily for me, I can handle it. But for my daughter, I will do whatever I need to do. They don't come all for the same reasons. You need to know that. Probably they came here because they don't have treatment for cancer where they live, where they grew up. They came here probably because the best way to live was here. Living in another place, in another system. Why they come here? That's a good question you can ask. What brought you here? That's the first question I ask to many of the people that are Hispanic here. So why you're here? Why a Puerto Rican guy is here from the 1950s or 40s? All of you know the answer. I was working in Bethlehem Steel. That's why I came. Because in Puerto Rico there was no jobs. And they came to work in Bethlehem Steel. And they like here, they stay here, kids grew up here. But if you go to the roots, to the people that came that time, up to today, they still talking in Spanish. But the grandchildren talking English. You understand that, right? So you need to understand that part, why they come. The ideas pre-immigration is going to be better. We're going to have new opportunities in life. It's going to be hope for me and for my kids, because I want a better life for my daughter and for, my family. So that brings them here. Second, it gives you an idea of future, a better future. We all like that. We all want that. We all want it. Maybe you're living here and you want a better future, or maybe for you, a better future means Italy, and your goal in life is go to Italy or London, or that's life. That's what I want. And you do it at the end or in the middle of your life, you make the transition, because that means future for you. Okay, you want to die there. Many of the Hispanic, they say, I want to die in my country. Doesn't matter what. I can live 80 years in Bethlehem, but I don't want to die and finish with 12 inches of snow on top of me. I don't want that. It's silly, but, I think about that. I say, oh, my God, when you die there, 12 inches of snow, all that cold down there, it has to be cold. I want to be in the Caribbean. I want to be in the hot weather. I want to be in my 90s. I want to die and, take me to the ground. I'm sure it's going to be 90 all the time. Okay? I want to make sure that's going to happen in my life. So, future is important in our life. But the experience when they come here is different. We sell a lot of dreams. But when we come, it's not such a dream. It's painful. It's painful. It's not so easy. I told you, I was trying to talk in Spanish 3 days later to somebody. And I have the advantage that I went to college and I came already to work. I was not looking for work here. I came to work. That's it. I've been here 12 years working, 1 or 2 jobs, all the time. Imagine many of them, they don't have school. They don't have it. They don't know the language. Mexican comes here, they don't know English. How hard it is for them to make it, to get a job. I ask many of my clients, you have high school? No. So what you have? 6th grade. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Gilberto, find me anything, any job. Doesn't matter. So that's not easy. That's not easy. So the experience is totally different from what they were thinking. New language, they need to learn it. They need to learn it. They need to adjust to the new place. And I say to everybody who comes here, I say, don't learn English from me. It's a huge mistake, because you're going to learn all my mistakes. Learn your English from somebody that is American. And all the time I go around people who are in English and I ask them, this is right, this is wrong. Tell me I need to learn it in the right way. But if I go to another Hispanic, I say, hey, Juan, you think this is right? Oh, yeah, it's right. You talk very good. I don't know how many mistakes I have done today in the last half hour. Right? But I tell them, learn the language. Maybe you're not going to talk like an American. I'm not going to pretending that I'm going to be American at the end of my life. I'm not going to be American. I'm going to be a Puerto Rican that likes salsa. Right? That's what I want. You go to my car, my music, salsa. And everybody here comes Gilberto with salsa. But if you go to a Mexican car, what it is? Ranchera, mariachi. Ay, ay, ay. And I don't like it. If you hear an ay, 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 that's a Mexican. Okay. Guatemala, what do they have? Or you, Colombia? Cumbia, beautiful, beautiful, cumbia. So that means a lot for somebody. The director of our program is American, I told you. And she put her music, and it's slow. I say, hey, Jessica, man, you know, you can, in her car and everything, because she's American. So I say, you know, you can put some salsa or something. We need some rhythm. We need some conga, bongos. We need something, you know. Let's move this. She laughed. She laughed because the music is so important for people that, you know, it means a lot. Okay, it means a lot. Cultural, social, and spiritual change is not the same thing. Coming to the United States and go to the church here. It's not the same. It's not. It can be a great church. It can be a extraordinary church, but it's not the same because church in Puerto Rico, in Hispanic culture, church is family. Church is family. You go here to a church and you live your own life. Nobody asks you, hey, you're okay? That's it. That's it. You go, nobody knows, nobody asks, nobody thinks, because if you ask, you are getting into other people's life. And in Hispanic culture, if you don't ask, you don't care about nobody. You know what I mean? Here, you're breaking privacy. There, you don't care about them. Sometimes I go to my job, they don't say good morning. Let me tell you. This is a secret. Please don't take this out. I hate when I go to a place and they don't say good morning. I hate that. I hate it. So in the beginning, I was, hey, good morning. Yeah, you have to do this and that and that. I said, wait. You sleep with me last night? What do you mean? You know, you don't say good morning for me. It's some kind of disrespectful because I didn't sleep with you last night. I don't know how are you. You know, if you sleep with me last night, then I know how you are. I told you this is a secret, okay? But you didn't sleep with me. I don't know how are you. I don't know if your day is good. I don't know if your day is bad. I don't know if you're in the middle of crisis. I don't know. And I want to know. I want to know that I'm talking with somebody that has life and she's feeling bad today. I want to know that. I want to know that I'm talking to somebody that this is a bad day for her or a good day for him or for her or forever. You know, I want to know because in the way she responded, in the way I go to her, oh my God, I'm so sorry that that's the way I related to her. And you go to a client, well, a patient, I'm coming here to read you the Bible, and everything's okay, right? Yeah, everything's okay, because I don't want to break the privacy. You know, I don't want. So let's read the Bible. They can read the Bible. They can get a grandson, a granddaughter to do it. They can do it. They want to have interaction with somebody, people that feels, that knows, that can identify with his pain or her suffering. We want to know. That makes me feel that, you know, you care. Good morning. Yeah, you have to do this and that. I say, and she do now. Some people do it on purpose because they know. They know. I say, I ain't gonna forget it. You're not gonna learn. Okay, you're not gonna learn. So those little details tells you a lot about your care of other people. Maybe you're breaking privacy, and I just ask, you know, how are you? You know, I don't want to get into your personal part, but I want to know how are you. I just want to know. My grandmother, she's 98 today, and yeah, she say every time I go to her, Mama, I call her Mama, ¿Está todo bien? In the beginning, if I don't ask the question, she will say, you're very disrespectful. Say, Mama, ¿por qué? Why? You don't ask, you don't say buenos dias? How's the way? How you come to me like that? You know, you have to say buenos dias. You need to have courtesy. That's the way we see it. That's the way other cultures don't see it, but that's the way it is. Okay, that's the way it is. So, changes in terms of culture is hard. Changes in terms of residential. My mother, when I was 8, 9 years old, my parents divorced, and she moved to New York. You know how many apartments I live in New York when we moved here? In 3 years. My mother moved 8 times. 8 times. From one apartment to the other, to the other, to the other. Mom, we live in Manhattan. 6th Street, 7th Street, 8th Street, 12th Street, 15th Street. In 3 years. I said, Mom, are you planning to move to all the apartments in Manhattan? You know. But she just came to the first one that she found. A couple of months there, it was not good. So then she got something better, and then something better, something better, something cheaper but better. So, and many of them are like that. And today in Bethlehem, Allentown, they move a lot. If you don't buy a house, it's rented, they move a lot. Okay, so maybe the patient that you're going to see today, in 3 weeks is not going to be there, but I don't want to stop in that one. Changes, relationship and family system. In Hispanic, family is essential. Essential. Family is family. I don't care. They can kill themselves. They can kill themselves, but this is my family. You are my mother. I can kill you, but nobody touch you. Okay? Nobody touch you. It's funny because in this part, relationship and family, in terms of patient, is a lot of difference. We don't send our seniors, our grandparents to homes. You never think about it. You never think about it. You never think to send mommy to that home, to leave her the rest of her life. Right? You never think about it, because the day you think it will kill you. She died home. She dies home. Home can mean, in Hispanic, a back room all the way on the back, Nobody see it, but it's home. When I started as a pastor in Puerto Rico, they invited me to visit this lady. She had like 95 years old, cancer. They cut part of this area. It was horrible. She was in the last days of her life. So I went. I said, where's she? Where's her? They took me to the yard. Behind the house, they have a little house. She was there. She was there. They were doing all the care, all the way in the back of the house, but she was home. We never sent our family to homes, no. We take care of them. You can see it today here because after they move, things change, but that's part of the treatment relationship. I want to die with my kids with me. I want to receive everything with my family, with my kids, with my great-grandchildren, screaming and music and here. That's part of what we are. We're dying, but we're here. And I feel that somebody's there for me. If that doesn't happen, it means that my life didn't mean anything to anybody. When my kids doesn't want to have me in their house when I'm 95 years old, dying, that means I was a bad father, a bad mother, a bad person. Nobody wants me. Nobody cares about me. I visit homes in here, and what's the first thing the people say to you? Well, my family doesn't come. They don't care. They have their own life. You know, they come once a week. If they remember I exist, they come once a week. If that happens in Hispanic, they're going to die. But not because they have cancer or that. They're going to die because they are so sad of their lives that they die. They say, you know, for what? Nobody cares. Nobody comes. Nobody calls. Okay? So, relationship is important. Lack of emotional support here. Emotional support, if you call me once a day, that means you care. If you call me at least once a day. My grandmother, 98 years old, living in Ohio, in Milwaukee. They call her every son and daughter, every day, in the morning, in the evening. My wife called her mother from here to Puerto Rico. The first thing I did when I moved here, get a company that she can call her mother, you know, because she does it in the morning and in the evening. Mom, everything's okay? Are you alive? Everything, you know. If she responds, I know you're alive. We don't have that here. Here, people from our country, they call, but people from here, they don't call. They don't call because they are old. Mom, but I called you like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, but you don't know. I miss that part. I miss that part. I miss the part that the neighbor screamed from her house to my house, Galen, can you send me a plate of white rice? All right. I miss that part. We don't have that here. Because probably the neighbor is going to put something that's going to be killed. You know, I don't want. So I don't want that lack of emotional support. And maybe what the only thing they need is somebody to listen. Just to listen. Just to be there and listen. And that's it. It's interesting. In Puerto Rico, I talk about Puerto Rico, but that's where I come from. But you go to the people 80, 75 years old, they have a little table in one corner of the house. They have the picture, the frame of Jesus, okay? And they have a picture of somebody else. If you are from one political party, in Puerto Rico, Luisa Ferré, he was one of the politicians that did a lot in the 1940s for Puerto Rico. So it's Jesus and Luisa Ferré. And the cross in the middle. But if he's from the other political party, you'll find Hernández Colón, Luis Muñoz Marín, Jesus and the cross in the middle. They are like gods. You know, they are like gods. Politics in Puerto Rico, that's like athleticism, like sports. Like the Super Bowl. Oh, there's a Super Bowl. Politics in Hispanic culture is Super Bowl. We talk, we discuss, we scream, we fight, we kill, we do everything for politics. Here, you put a paper with your name that you're running for this, for that. 10 days later, you have to take it out. In those countries, you go the whole year is papers about this politician, about the other politician. These people doesn't get tired of politics. No. I was angry in my job because one day my coworker is from Argentina. We start talking about politics, and another person said, we don't talk about politics in jobs. Well, we talk about politics in here. I want to know what happens in Cuba. I want to know what happens in Argentina. I want to know what happens in Puerto Rico. We talk about it. And we get, excited about it. Because that's the way we are. Okay, that's the way we are. So we have here a lot of emotional support. We need to clarify those differences. We need to clarify. The best way, work with them, ask them, tell them, check with them what is good, what is not good. Cultural differences. Okay, what is different here from there? Maybe the way they see religion is different than the way we see religion. I was shocked when I came here 12 years ago because I am from the United Church of Christ. I've been in the United Church of Christ all my life. And we moved here. And the church that I was serving, one day they say, Pastor, we're going to share a service in Holy Ghost in South Bethlehem. And it's going to be Holy Ghost, and it's going to be the Episcopal Church. That never happens in Puerto Rico. I was scared. I said, a Protestant UCC or Pentecostal going to the Roman Catholic Church? No, you don't go in that direction. That doesn't work. Or you are Roman Catholic, or you are Pentecostal, but no in between. We don't like the in between thing. Or you are, or you're not. Okay? So there are many issues in terms of that. So you need to clarify. You go to what church you like, because maybe they go to this church because that's the only thing they find here. But in the roots, they come from other traditions. Okay? One day, somebody was working in, she was shocked and she quit the job because she cannot handle the religious part. Because the client that she was visiting was not Pentecostal that she was. And she needs to handle the situation in a different way. So she said, I cannot be in the in-between thing. Okay, but that works here. And it works good. And it helps. It helps. But you need to clarify. Best way to do it, ask them where you come, from where do you come? Puerto Rico, how is Puerto Rico? Mexico, how is Mexico? Clarify those differences. Political differences is not the same thing that happens in Puerto Rico that happens in Venezuela. It's different. I visited Guatemala, and it's interesting because I was surprised. We don't carry, in Puerto Rico, we don't carry guns. You don't carry guns with you. Like here, you don't come here with a rifle here. You don't do that, But in Guatemala, everybody has a rifle. And you go to buy something in the supermarket, at the door, just at the entrance, guys with rifles. That's the way it works. Because narco traffic. Okay? So all the owners from stores and, they have guards in front of the store with rifles. It was interesting and funny because we did a trip to Guatemala and we have like 6 or 8, I don't know how to say, bodyguards or, they were walking with us. Guards or. We decided, it was a clinic, medical clinic. We were going to do eye check, the vision. And we decided to leave the people who were working with us at the end. We were going to see the community first and then all who were helping us then at the end. So we bring the guards. All right, what letter is there? Where? In the board. What letter you see there? I don't see a letter. But you have a rifle. You were. I don't know if I see something moving, I should. I don't see so well if nobody's supposed to run that way. If I see somebody running that way, I just shoot. That's it. I said, oh my God, we did a huge, huge mistake. We were supposed to do them first, right? A little, huge mistake. Okay? So, check those differences, the religious differences between Roman Catholic versus Protestant. One of the things that happens here, it was that I tried to do a Hispanic congregation. I had a huge job because or you are Roman Catholic or you are Pentecostal. Hispanics are Roman Catholic or Pentecostal, not the in-between. And what the United Church of Christ is? The in-between. The in-between, we're not Pentecostal, we're not Roman Catholic, we're the in-between. And Hispanic, we are not in-between. I'm not supposed to be. Ethnic support. Maybe you cannot do a lot with a patient, but check, maybe the family doesn't have that support from their own group. Get in contact with, I don't know, a church, a group from the community that are Puerto Ricans or Mexicans or, find that support because many of those people came here just to work, not to establish relationship. They don't come here to make relationship. They come here to work and work hard. So they've been working all day and night. And, they at the end, they find that they are alone. This is a medium joke. But if you go to a Mexican house, people start getting, walking out of the house. You see in a little apartment that regularly fits 3, 4, 5 people. You start finding, you stand up in front of the house. See how many people get out of the house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15, 20, 25. I say, oh my God, how they get in there? How they fit in there? We say as a joke, they rent the bed. From 8 to 4, you use the bed. 4 to midnight, the other one use the bed. Midnight to 8 o'clock in the morning, the other one use the bed. If you didn't rent the bed for that night or that time, go to the floor. Okay? You sleep in the floor. It's common. There used to live 25 people in one little place, and they are fine. They don't have problems. They don't have problems. You have problems. I have problems with that. Okay? So get ethnic support from their background. Get music. From that, ask them, what do you like? If I'm sick and you come with the only song I like from Michael Jackson is Thriller, right? And Man at the Meter. Man at the Meter, something like that, right? I love that song. The rest of the music, if you put Michael Jackson, if I'm dying there and you put Michael Jackson, they take that thing out. I don't want to hear that. The Beatles, I don't want to hear Beatles. I want to hear the Gran Combo. I want to hear, Rubén Blades. I want to hear my music. I want to hear what sounds to me familiarity. I want to hear something that is part of me. And that's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear Madonna or Lady Gaga, I don't want to hear that. That means a lot. Take music with you. Get music, ask the family, let's put some music. One little thing, and I'm ready to close. I visit houses, and sometimes it makes me feel sick. I go to the house, curtains, no lights. That scares me, and I don't like it. I go to my house, I open the curtains. I want the light from the sun to come inside the house. I want to feel the light. I'm from the Caribbean. We have sun all day. We are in the street all day. Sun is part of our life. And I want to see my apartment with a lot of light, not the electric one. I want to see the sun coming in. You know what? My grandmother had a little house it was the two blades or only two doors. Some duplex, something like that. So she used to open the two windows and look from her house to the neighbor house. That she opened the window. From here, she knew what happens in the other house. From my house, we see what happens in the next house. And we can see from our house like 3 houses down, because everybody opens the window so you can see from here to the other one. I want to see light. And I think, I don't know if it's culture, but Americans don't like to bring the sun in. They use, a lot of people that I visit, dark apartments, dark paint. You go to the house and it's dark. You know when it's a Mexican house. The color. Yeah. The color. Bright, clear, shiny, and that gives lives. If you are working with a patient, ask them, learn about their ethnic, the music, support groups, explore the environment, ask, listen, inform yourself about them. Ready? Thank you so much for this invitation.